it's me. How are you? It's Liz Yuille from Old Sables Crafts, and I'm here for another random live. So let's see if things are working. Be nice if they were. Yay! I'm live. Excellent. And there's quite a delay. 20-second delay today. Joy. I've got my grapefruit. Fizzy grapefruit. Yum, yum, yum. So, I am finally getting round to using the Botanical layers and the lovely layers vellum, which I've been looking at for a while now. Not quite sure what to do with them. And it all suddenly came to me. So, I know what I'm doing. It's kind of scary. As you join, in fact, let me leave a note to say, as you join, say hello and let me know where you are joining from. There we go. I've got a comment. So, it's 25 to 5. It's Friday. The weekend is about to begin, theoretically. Oh, lovely and warm and sunny in Pevensey. Excellent, Judith. So, theoretically, I finish work at noon on a Friday, but hey, that wasn't going to happen today, was it? So, instead of that, I'm looking at lovely sunshine out through my window, but I'm here with you, which is even better. Hello, Barbara from Oregon. Welcome, welcome. So yes, so I'm going to be trying to speak would be nice. I am going to be using the Botanical layers and the lovely layers vellum to see if I can do what is in my head. It may or may not happen. Just saying. What I do know is I am going to be using all of the new in colours. So we've got Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet. Let's see how many of these names I can muddle up. Starry Sky, yes, that's one I always get wrong. Orchid Oasis is one I very rarely get right. And Parakeet Party. Hello, Bonita from Florida. First time commenting. Yes, excellent. You've watched me many times, but you've finally got round to commenting. Fantastic. So there's going to be a lot of heat embossing, and what I'm planning may or may not work properly. Just saying. It may. I'm trying two things that are slightly scary and may or may not work. So wish me luck, as they say. Actually, I've just had a thought. Ooh, I may actually not need to use that, because I was going to be using some black heat embossing, and I don't think I need to. Just saying. I think I can get away with just white and clear. I mean, they're all in the same bundle, so it doesn't really make any difference from that point of view. But let me flip the camera down. My brain is not working, just warning you. My brain is definitely somewhere else today. So, I am starting with a Tahitian Tide. I love that word, that name. Card base. Hello, Helen from a rainy Michigan. I'm sorry it's raining. That's not fair. That's not fair. But hey, this gives you something to do while it's raining. So, Botanical layers stamp set has got all these lovely botanical layers, surprisingly. Sentiments, we've got You Mean the World to Me. Thank you for everything and thinking of you. I was going to use You Mean the World to Me, but I may do Thank You for Everything, actually. Just changed my mind on that one. So I think I'm going to do Thank You for Everything, which is this one. I have actually stuck the stickers on the back of the stamp set. Such a thing never normally happens. Right, Now, this is going to be different for those of you in North America, for which I apologise. I haven't put one of my lights on, for which I also apologise. So I've got this particular lovely layer, but let me just show you all of the designs. There are a lot of plain vellums, and I am going to use one of the plain vellums for my second card. But the designs are, and you can get these as a bundle, and if you want these, so if you get the stamp set and the vellums, they are a bundle, which is a kind of weird bundle, but they are a bundle. Let me show you, just in case. So botanical layers will be the easiest way of finding it. Oh, there it is. Page 93. Page 93 in your new catalogue. So here we go. So yes, the vellums are bundled with the stamp set. So if you get the stamp set, which is £22, for an extra £2, this is the UK, for an extra £2.75, you can get the vellums. If you turn to page 139, which is where you can get them on their own, so remember, £2.75. On their own, they are £5.75. So you can save £3 on the cost of the vellums just by buying them with the stamp set. So do remember that, because why pay more, I say. Right, okay, so we've got this one, obviously. We then have, let me pick them up in layers, this one, which is beautiful. That basically is a card front, let's face it. What you could do, of course, is pop that up on foam strips and have shaker elements behind, which would be quite fun, because then they'd be slightly foggy because of the vellum, obviously. So that's that one. Then we've got this one, which has got a circle in the middle, which is clear, but we've got little dots all the way around the outside. And no, some of them are grey rather than black. I wondered if they had different intensities depending on which side of the paper you were on. So that's that one. Then we've got the one that I'm looking at, or the one I'm using now. And then we have final pattern is this, which is a circle, which obviously you can do stuff with. Then there are all of these that are plain. So do be aware that out of your 60 pieces of vellum, and it's a thinner vellum than our normal cardstock vellum, you get, I think it's 20 pattern pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 20 are patterned, 40 are plain. So do just go into it knowing that that is the case. But if you like the patterned ones, I would say buy it with the stamp set, and then it is a lot less expensive. Now, my brain is telling me that in the UK, this is not what my brain is telling me, by the way. This is where I'm coming from, so that you understand what I'm doing. So if I pop this onto my card front so that it's even round the edges, it's not. You've got this big piece at the bottom. I suspect that in North America, if you're doing an A2 card, excuse me, if you're doing an A2 card, it's probably in the right proportions. I don't know that. I don't have an A2 card. Oh, I do have an A2 card to hand. I lie. Yes, so if you're in North America, it will be perfect round an A2 card. So you'll end up with the same round the outside. So this will be slightly different for you, but for those of us who are this side of the pond and further down the pond, so basically everywhere that isn't North America, we have this bigger gap at the bottom, and I'm going to try and use that to my advantage. Now, if you want to replicate this in North America, you're going to need to take a piece off either the bottom or the top so that it's got a gap at the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do is, with my embossing buddy, coming back. It's coming back as part of a toolkit, but it is coming back. Yay! New mini catalogue. You wouldn't think we've got rid of the old one yet, but anyway. So I'm doing lots of embossing buddy, and I'm getting it literally everywhere. But I want to make sure that it's free of sticky finger marks, particularly as the weather is quite warm and I've been drinking from a cool can, so my fingers may not be completely grease free. I am going to leave this on the front of my card. This is where I get a bit risky. Hello, Lorna. So I'm inking up my stamp with Versamark, and I'm using this pattern. I nearly used this pattern, then I decided I wanted to use this one. And I'm going to ink up my sentiment at the same time. So let's bring that in too. Now we're going to be very risky with this one because it may or may not end up straight. So I'm going to stamp that first. In fact, I'm going to stamp that before I pop that onto there. So this may or may not work, just saying. There's part of me that wants to deliberately go crooked. In fact, I could go crooked that way because then it's sort of in that dip. That way it looks intentional. Because I do have this whole thing about if you're going to do something wrong, make sure it's intentionally wrong. I never know when I will find you. That's because, Karen, I'm doing random lives during May. So this is a random live. So thank you for everything. Top left-hand corner. Now I'm not too worried about things drying quickly because on vellum they don't tend to. Hello, Bernadette. And Lorna gave you the heads up. Excellent. So I'm popping this back onto my card front. And as I say, in North America, you're going to have to do something to trim yours down if you want to try and replicate this. You may not want to by the time I've finished. And now I'm going to stamp. Now I'm going to open that up so that it's flat and stamp over the two layers. Now actually I do want it slightly up because there's going to be a halo. So I'm deliberately stamping the bottom of my stamp off the vellum and onto the coloured card. So here we go, fingers crossed that this works. So I'm going to press that really quite hard where the two layers overlap, hopefully without over stamping. Right, that looks quite good. So I'm going to move that to one side for a moment and bring in my white embossing powder and just get that on the bottom of my card front because it will dry quicker on the card than it will on the vellum. I'm not too worried if there's bits that are going to be underneath the vellum. Now I need my spoon. My spoon. So I have a spoon that I use for embossing powder. As I say, this may or may not work, and I have overstamped. It's fine. It will be fine. I can brush it off. So yes, in the new mini catalogue, if you haven't seen the new, if you're not a demonstrator and therefore haven't seen the new mini catalogue, that's, you know, we haven't got rid of the last one yet. There is an embossing toolkit coming, which includes one of those trays with a funnel, an embossing buddy, 2 brushes, and I can't remember what else, but definitely those. Right, let's, on the subject of brushes, I'm just going to flick the back of this to get any little bits of loose off. That's done quite a lot of good. I do need to just get rid of that because that was over-stamped. And by over-stamped, I mean I got ink on the edge of the stamp and then transferred it to the vellum. Right, okay. Trusty cheese board. Don't need the spoon at the moment. I'm just going to heat up my heat gun. And this will either work or not. I mean, that's obvious, really. Just saying. Now I'm going to do the vellum first, so that the gun is not too hot by the time I emboss it. This could be risky. Spotted your request to say where you're joining from. From the sitting room. Oh, I like that. Right, so what I'm slightly concerned about is that because this is thin vellum, it may warp quite a lot. And it is already warping, but we'll give it a go. I can see it, I can smell it warping as well. Right. So it's not too wobbly. Let's give it a general blast. And a general blast from behind. Right, while I'm going, let's do the bottom of my card, which again is going to warp. Right. Oh, isn't it quiet when it stops? Okay, I think it's going to work. Which is a bit of a worry, really. This is curled a wee bit, but that's fine. We'll get that to uncurl. And I haven't actually done it yet. So my thought process is that we then just join the patterns like that, and it's going to work just like that. So the next thing I need to do is work out how I'm going to hide the adhesive. Now it's easy under here because we have solid embossing to hide mini glue dots behind. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, if I can only find, oh, I've put it away, my take your pick tool. So I'm going to turn this over, and I think it doesn't really matter where I put them because they're going to hide behind the embossing, even if they don't completely hide behind the embossing, if you see what I mean. So because the pattern is not actually solid, it's sort of zebra stripes, there may be a little bit of peek through. Come on, stay. I'll just put one there, and then I will think about how I'm going to hide them further up. That will just fit, I think. Stay, good dog. Good dog. Good spot. There we go. Right, so the difficulty is going to be, ooh, that looks all right, hiding them up here. But actually there's quite a nice space under the everything. So I think that is where I'm going to start. So just there. And then we can, ooh, I was going to use some of those, wasn't I? Then we can use some of the matte decorative dots to hide other dots. Does that make sense? So I need something up there. So I'll have a large Tahitian tied up there and a large down there. Actually, yeah, it is down. I am right, it is down. It's quite warm in here today, so my dots are quite sticky. Right, moment of truth time. Call me old-fashioned, but straight is something I like. Now it's a little wibbly because I've heat embossed, but it's not too bad, actually. Right, so I now need my decorative dots. Don't need all of that paper. So in colour decorative dots. And in fact, under the black here, it's, other than the fact there's a lump, you can't see it. You can see it just up here. Can't see it under the every, and can't see it here. So it works. Yes. Interesting design. Yeah. It's one of those, do I cut the vellum down or do I use it and take advantage of the fact that it doesn't quite fit international A4 cardstock? To wit, clearly I'm going for the latter. So in fact, therefore, I don't need to worry about having a big one there. So although I haven't got a huge number of the small ones left, I think I'm going to have one tucked in here. Yeah, tucked in here, and another small one up there. Oh, in fact, I could have it so it's just off the edge there, and that will help keep that corner down. So, yes. Hello, Candy. As I say, just trying to take advantage of the fact that the vellum is not quite the right size for international A4. So that's my first card. How quick was that? It is, as I say, it is a bit wobbly. Let me see what you're seeing so that I can see whether you can see that it's wobbly. If I hold it like that, you can see it is a little bit wobbly. But having established that it's not that easy to see through the darker shades of grey, I could do that. That helps. And I can also probably get one over that side, which will help. So, although this side's not quite so important because we have got wibble, we've got dots under the stamp. Yeah, that's a bit better. So yes, take advantage of the dark vellum to hide your glue. So yes. If you know me at all, that is better for me than just not quite straight. And it's sort of following the wave. So that's our first one. The second one, I have a piece of the plain vellum, and I need a piece of scrap paper. That will do. So this is either going to work or not. Does that sound familiar at all? It's pretty much the way I rock and roll. So more embossing buddy. And I need more stamps. Oh no, that's fine. Sorry, my brain was just working 19 to the dozen there for a moment. And I realised that I needn't think like that because of what I'm doing. Right, okay, so I need a D block for that one that you can't see because it's under my head, a D block for that one, and a C block for that one. I'm not going to worry about a sentiment for the moment. Okay, this may or may not work. I don't need that. What I need are my nice, new, juicy ink pads. So each of the... Ooh. Okay, I will not use, because I want to use a different colour for each pattern. Oh, I could use those. Right, okay, nope, take it back. Take it back, right. Okay, so this may or may not work. Okay, are we ready for this? May or may not work. So my parakeet party is very, 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 very juicy. It's almost too juicy, but it'll be fine for this. So I'm going to have that up there. Then I'm going to just pop that away for a moment. And I know I've probably still got some Versamark on my this one, but I'm comfortable with it. I'm going to have this one coming in here. And I need to make sure I don't lean on any of these. Let's get rid of that, don't need it. Okay. So this one is Starry Sky, which I have slightly over inked. And Tahitian Tide, just hoping that these aren't drying quite as quickly as I think they are. So Tahitian Tide is going to come down there. And I'm going to fill that in a bit more. So we'll bring that in there. And get rid of that. So I'm going to go in reverse. Keep looking at that parakeet party, trying to dry. Don't dry! Don't do it! Orchid Oasis was the squiggly one that I used before. And Parakeet Party, and I know I've still got Sweet Sorbet to do. Okay, I'm just going to come in just at the bottom here. Can you sense the panic that's beginning to set in? It's that that's worrying me. Let's push this somewhere so I can see what's open space. Right, I need one more of these or I'm going to go mad. So let's pop it down there. Right, okay. Let's do this then. Right. Clear embossing powder. Spoon. Just start at that end. Phew, it's still wet. Hurrah. It's quite warm in here today, so I had a sudden panic that it was going to be drying out too quickly. So this is clear embossing powder. I'm going to have to hold it there. There is actually a bit of ink there. Okay. Right. Are you ready for this? Get rid of the embossing powder off that. Bring back in our good old thing, cheese board. This is going to be very interesting given how the vellum wants to warp, but we're going to give it a go. I'm going to use the bone folder rather than the clip, because the clip, there really isn't anywhere to clip. So let me just heat that up. Trusty cheese board indeed, Candy. Right, I think I have caught all of the powder. So somewhere I've got some white. Here we go. So that is what we've ended up with. Hello, Barb from Toronto. Let me pop that down. So we've now got glossy in colours. So it's almost like you've embossed with in colour embossing powders. Can you see that gloss? So surprise, surprise, that is going to go on to white as its first layer. White as its first layer. And what I'm going to do is cut my card down, my white card down, so that it's the same size. Hopefully that's on the packet. 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I've got all these inky stamps now. So don't need that. 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Perfect-ish. Almost perfect. It's fine. It will do fine. Right, okay, so more glue dots. And again, I'm going to go for solid areas. So there, for example. I'd like to say I deliberately put solid at the corners, but I didn't. Oop, I am going to hide one behind there. And hopefully I can get one up here as well. I'm going to go there. And one sort of in the middle to try to help hold that in place. Let's twirl that. Whoops! Huh. Come on. As I say, it's warm in here today, so my glue dots are very sticky. Now I'm going to do this the other way around. I'm going to put the non-sticky onto the sticky. So that is what we've ended up with. Now, I think I want that framed. So let me find my rectangles. Circles, diorama. Oh, they're stitched, aren't they? They're not layering, they're stitched. Stitched rectangles. I'm hoping one of these will be about the right size. You'd like to think, wouldn't you? Okay, let's have a look at my, not at all well, that's too big. That's the one. Right, so I want that, and I think that's going to be too big, but we'll see. Oh no, it's going to be fine. Right, okay. We are doing this. So let's pop those back in there in a general mess. Have you ever used the sticky sheets under vellum? I know what you mean. Yes, I have. I have. Could have used those, probably. Didn't think of it. There's nothing quite like being live to make your brain go to complete mush. But no, I didn't think of it. So, hence I haven't. But yes, you can. In fact, I'll have a look in a minute and see what it looks like. Right, I am going to be using my magnetic base plate because we are test driving the magnetic base plate to see if it withstands reasonable use. Can't decide which colour to do my frame. I'm tempted to go Starry Sky. That's not going to be big enough, is it? It would be if it wasn't for the fact I had a hole in it. Oh, and it's the wrong size anyway. Right, Starry Sky, where are you? There you are. This is actually a scrap. Doesn't look like a scrap, but it is a scrap. But I cut a piece off the edge, so it is a scrap. When people join my team, I send them colour swatches. So I've cut them off the edge of a piece of card. Hello, Deborah from Michigan, and hello, Luann from Wisconsin. Welcome, welcome. So I'm just going to cut this roughly. I know I could have used my trimmer, but you know, I've already got my embossing machine out, die cutter out, so that would mean moving something, which would be, you know, too easy. Right, so this is going to be straightened out first, because that's curling nicely. That's better. So I'm going to put it through with a corner sticking, this is curled a bit as well, with a corner going first so that it's not quite such a gudunk. Let's Let's make sure all of that is on the card and that that is reasonably even, which it is. You've got to love a magnetic base plate. Okay, oh, and it's moved. Going to be doing that again with some sticky. I'm betting it's cut. Yes, it has. Okay, I don't know that I'm going to be able to straighten that out successfully. No, I'm not. Okay, let me just do that again, but sticking my two bits of thing together. I suppose I could do one and then the other. That might be more sensible, mightn't it? Let's do that. So I will do one and then the other and stop trying to cut corners. I will still use sticky, by the way, for the second one, just so that it doesn't move. Right, that's one done. There's the other one. Is that right? Yes. So this one. And I'm only using sticky. I know it's a magnetic base plate, but this is quite a big thing. And having thing, you understand the word thing. Die, that's the word. Having had it move once. Once bitten. I'm going to stick it on this side because this is the bit that's not going to be part of the frame. So these are just sticky notes. You could probably use our new masking paper, although I gather it is quite sticky, which is probably good, but maybe too sticky for going through a die cutting machine. Die cutting machines make things stick more than normal, just saying. Right, pop that away, get that off, get that off, pop that away, and we have our little frame and a rectangle. You can go over there. Right, okay, so this I'm going to stick onto this using not tear and tape because that's going to be too wide, although what I could do is I like using post-it note tape. We don't get post-it note tape that readily in the UK. It's annoying, but we don't. So relaxing watching you make cards. You chatter away on crafting too, except I'm just talking to myself. Well, there are moments when I feel like I'm talking to myself as well. But now I do have in the house, not here, a pair of non-stick scissors, which is probably what I should be using for this. But these are my what I call sticky scissors. I just want this tape to be not quite as wide as it currently is. I'm just not convinced that multi-purpose liquid adhesive will stick onto vellum that has got heat embossing. Otherwise I would say use that. But yes, I'm very jealous of post-it note tape. We probably can get it in on Amazon. What can't you get on Amazon? But it's not what I would call readily available. Certainly not where I live. Maybe if I went into Oxford City I could get it, but the shops round, the nearest shops to us are about 5 miles away and they're not great. Almost, come on. Let's straighten you out. There we go. There's the other piece. Just thinking, relaxing watching me cut tape in half. Maybe not. Right, and then another piece. Now obviously if you've got contraband tape, you could use shop Amazon for it. What about foam strips? Yes, I was thinking of foam strips, and then I realised that for the UK, foam strips make it an expensive card to post. And actually I do want, I'm kind of liking the idea of possibly popping my vellum on dimensionals so that the piece is standing away from the card base. But my main concern is, generally speaking, postage. It's not quite long enough, but that's what glue dots are for. So yes, there is a huge jump in the UK from ordinary letter size to large letter size. Hello Shaz, who is feeling better. I didn't see you. Otherwise I'd said hello, but I didn't see you there. Hello. I'm glad you're feeling better in spite of your trip up to Exeter. So that's even better, because you had quite a busy day yesterday, didn't you? Of course, I've just realised this is probably going to be bigger than the card, as in bigger than the card. So I need that and that, and wish me luck, everyone. I think it's just as well I've got no glue on the corners. In fact, I'm going to do it this way up, because that way I can see where the frame is. Please be straight. Please be straight. Ish. Phew. Almost. That's almost. Now it is sticky down there, but that's fine. And that is one of the things you can do with your embossing buddy. Oh, it was Bristol, was it? It's oh, you're still in Bristol. Why did I think it was Exeter? Because I'm stupid, clearly. My memory is like a sieve. So this is the other thing you can do with your embossing buddy, is if you've got something sticky that you don't want sticky, you can de-stick. I mean, it doesn't take all of the stick off, but it does a jolly good job of making it quite a lot less sticky. Right, so that's now framed and almost flat. So I'm going to do a bit of a, and almost straight, I'm going to do a little bit of a Bruno Bertucci. Oh, I need to stick some glue dots under the edge there, because I'm going to put a lot of dimensionals under here. This wasn't, so I've stuck to the vellum, which I wanted to do, but that side's very flappy. Better. One more and then we'll be done. One of those shows which is annoying, but never mind. The rest is not too bad, but it then tidies up the edge. I didn't like the way the edge was looking. It was just looking a little untidy. Hello, Beverly. Ah, I don't have a tray. Karen. So I do have two more embossing buddies, but I don't have a tray. Suddenly realised that was a random thing to say, particularly for people who are watching on replay. So the first card was really quick. This one less so. Right, okay. I have, surprise, surprise, a Tahitian tied card base. Because, you know, if you cut one, you cut two, really. Nope, that's the front. So that's going to go on there, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit from the top. And here, where the glue dot is showing, underneath the parakeet party, I'm probably going to put a sentiment. Suddenly realised I need a new sheet of these. If anyone doesn't like these being cracked, sorry, but I do. I would move it out of the way so you didn't actually have to see it crack, but I like cracking them. So because I am still dealing with something that's a bit wibbly, I am going to use a few more of these than I would normally. But only a few more than I would normally. So, oh, and I had said to myself before I started today that I might even stamp the insides of my cards today. I know, scary, because I don't normally do that. Right, sentiment. Let's go for the one I haven't used, that I was going to use, which is "You Mean the World to Me." 'Cause you do. I was just before lunch today, I was listening back to the, where's my starry sky? Over there. Listening back to the Paradise Palms live, because I couldn't remember. That was the one where I did the ink blending. I couldn't remember what colour inks I'd used, and so I thought I would listen back, and it's quite scary how random some of the things are I say. See, that's typical. Because I stamped it in the middle of the piece of paper thinking it probably wouldn't be straight, it's straight. Still going to have to trim it down though, aren't I? Snips. Guillotine. Guillotine. Madame Guillotine. Let's just make that actually straight rather than a rough approximation of straight. I apologise for those of you who don't like people sticking their tongues out when they're concentrating, but I do that. So, sorry. Right, okay, so this I'm going to have down there, which covers up one of the little blips, and I just need a piece of Terran tape behind it. Oh, and I'm just about going to get away with not having to bring in my shade. I say that. Oh. No, need the shade. Because the sun's out. This is why doing lives at this time of the day isn't necessarily a staggeringly good idea. Because the sun comes in and then it throws off all the lighting. Once upon a time I had to take a pic. Once upon a time, oh there it is, it's pretending to be a spoon. So. There we go. And I think that's all I'm going to do with that. Where did I put the other card? There. But what I also want to just try, so that we can see what it looks like, in my recent ongoing cleaning and reorganisation in my craft room, I found a stash of completed cards. So to take a bunch of just because cards went in. Oh, now you need more postage. Absolutely. Lorna and I are going to get together so she can advise me about which things to buy first. I'd buy it all if I could. There's nothing wrong with buying it all, Bernadette. Honest. No, there is. I mean, what you need to do is set a budget and then look at which are the most important things to get first. I know you're going to be buying Stamping Up, so you're going for quality, which is absolutely the right thing to do. When I first started doing crafts, I went for cheap. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right, I need some adhesive sheet. Is that? No, that's a real scrap of adhesive sheet. Don't know if I've opened this adhesive sheet before or not. We're about to find out. I need an adhesive sheet. I need one of these pieces of vellum. Just the one, really. I don't need the whole packet. Just want the one. Thank you. Okay, so let's see how much of a mess I can make of this. I just need to do that because I stock all of the adhesives, so that if anyone wants them, that I can just send them to them without them having to pay the normal postage. Because in the UK we have a flat postage for, well, in Europe we have a flat postage for Stamping Up. So I stock all of the adhesives because we can. And, well, that's annoying, isn't it? And when was my brain going? Oh, yes, I just needed to make sure that I knew that I had opened this packet of adhesive sheets, because it lives in the same place. Absolutely, you are correct, Candy. Going cheap means buying it twice. As the saying goes, buy cheap, buy twice, which is basically what you said. Now these sheets, and they've changed them, and I don't know if it was intentional or not, but these sheets are, the sticky is on the 2-inch strip, not on the 6-inch width. That will make sense in a moment. Karen, there probably isn't going to be a Simple Stamping Saturday, sorry. Only because I've got a bazillion and one videos to catch up on. So, with the best will in the world, no Simple Stamping Saturday tomorrow. That's going to be catch-up day for all the videos that I haven't posted to my website. Sorry. Right, so let's see if I can make this really cack-handed. Why is it that it's this moment that my floaters decide to come in? One of the numerous side effects of having had chemo is that I have floaters in my eyes. And they seem to kick in at the most inopportune moments, like when I'm trying to stick white onto white. I've learned to save up for quality and buy once. Absolutely, Candy. That's what you want to do. Right, so that's one piece on. So now let's see if we can get the other piece on. And again, I need to bring in a contrast because the floaters are doing their business. Yes, sorry for those of you who are looking forward to Simple Stamping Saturday tomorrow. I made an executive decision just before this may not work properly because I've got a gap down the middle. I made an executive decision before I went live that I wasn't going to do Simple Stamping Saturday tomorrow. Bearing in mind that this is only for test purposes, let's see. Now there is a gap down the middle, so this will be quite interesting because actually, conveniently, we can compare and contrast. So first things first, make sure that your sticky sheet is well adhered, because if it's not, you will end up with some sticky not being sticky. If that makes sense. You'll peel off some of the sticky is what I'm trying to say. Right. I'm going to pop that. This is going to overhang a bit, I'm just saying. Right, I think I know the answer to my question, or the question, because now this is on coloured card. I accept it's on coloured card. Whoops. But it may be different on white. Clearly, you need to make sure that you've got adhesive everywhere, and I have got a gap down the middle. But also, it's picking up the texture of the cardstock. So I think if you're using the printed, particularly the one which I used to start, I think that would work quite well. But it's a long holiday weekend in the USA with you this weekend. We would normally have a long weekend this weekend, because the last Monday in May is normally a bank holiday. However, because it's the Queen's Jubilee, is it the 2nd of June, the Jubilee? Anyway, beginning of June, the Monday bank holiday has been moved to the Friday, and they've added on a Thursday as well. So we've got 4 days off next week. So, yeah, it does look as if you can see. So I think, Candy, I would say if you're going to do it white card, and make sure you absolutely get no gaps, but it is picking up the texture of the cardstock. But a good thought nonetheless. So let me bring those two cards back in. They're just ideas. They need refining, but they are just ideas. So this one, heat embossing and bringing the heat embossing down, making taking advantage. It is even better, Candy. 4 days is always better than 3. So I've taken advantage of the fact that the vellum isn't quite the right size for A6 cards by coming off the edge. And then this is on vellum, because our classic ink doesn't dry. You're very welcome, Candy. Thank you, Sherry. Sherry or cherry? Ooh, are you a sh or a ch? because the classic ink doesn't dry particularly fast on vellum, you can heat emboss it with clear embossing powder. But yes, they were fun. They were fun. They certainly got me to open and use this particular bundle, because it's a bundle, a stamp set and vellum bundle. So this is the stamp set. Sunshine, shouldn't complain. So this is the stamp set, and then you've got all of the vellums, but remember that 40 of these sheets are plain vellum, and they're not the same thickness as our vellum cardstock. So just bear that in mind. Right, okay, let me flip the camera up. And it's a shh, thank you. I will try and remember, if you come on live and leave comments again, I will try and remember you're a shh. Right, I was going to flip the camera up and say goodbye properly, wasn't I? That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to do. There we go. Hello. Thank you. I'm glad you like the cards. As ever, if you like the cards, thumbs up is always appreciated. YouTube likes when people give me a thumbs up because they think that people enjoy my videos, and then they may show them to other people, which is always fun. Do remember, if you don't already subscribe, the YouTube subscribe button is there ready for you to do that, bottom right hand corner. And certainly for till the end of May, which I know isn't long, I will be doing random live. So basically Monday I'll be doing a random live, because Tuesday I'm live anyway. But throughout the rest of the year I will be doing the odd random, because apparently you enjoy them. I will also be starting scrapbooking soon. Thank you, Bernadette. You would never have thought of. Well, that's what goes on in my brain. You see, they are, as I say, a bit random. But yeah, if you ever want ideas, Pinterest, go and have a look at Pinterest, and you can look at heat embossing on vellum. Search heat embossing on vellum, and it's surprising what will come up. But heat embossing on vellum with classic ink and clear embossing powder is definitely a thing to do. It's magic is what it is. Particularly if you use our cardstock vellum. This vellum isn't quite so thick. Thank you, everyone. Right, I must let you go. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm going to go and write some blog posts, and so that there's something on my website tomorrow, which won't be Simple Stamping Saturday. Sorry, Karen. And then I'm going to have a gin and tonic on the patio with my husband. He doesn't know that yet, but that's what I've decided we're going to do. Right, thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic weekend, particularly if you are in the US and you have a holiday on Monday. Enjoy your holiday. I'm assuming it's on Monday and not today. Enjoy your holiday on Monday. And I may see you then. I may not. You never know. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Bye for now.